Behold the dawn of another era, a tenure 2 in a row, the takeoff of yet another journey through governance, providing for the people in the course of the journey.
I will devote myself to the service and well-being of the people of Nigeria. So help me God.
Taking decisions and actions for the good of the people. Indices of performance. Watch out for what the government is doing for the governed, the state, the government, and the people. Indices of performance. Only on Minaj.
Turning around agriculture in Anambra State has been one of the top priorities of the APGA-led government of Governor Willie Obiano administration. Currently, government is establishing irrigation projects, especially in agrarian areas of the state.
The FADAMA project has also assisted 6,160 farmers, providing them people. You will see some of them here. We also give them assets where we paid 80% of the cost and they only paid 20%. And that's why, because you remember the first time we visited you with the World Bank team, you stressed so much on mechanization. You understand? So that's what we're doing. We want to remove the hose and cutlasses from the farms and replace them with the mechanized equipment. You see them using their thresher here to trade their rice. It's no longer hitting the rice. And beyond that, Your Excellency, the project has also done 3 agricultural centers that are strategically located. One is here in Ogbaru, one is at Ogbaru, and the other one is at Amanuke. And we've done drying slabs also to assist the farmers so that there won't be stones in their rice anymore. And beyond that also, we've empowered 18 youth and women groups with processing assets, rice mills and other processing assets, the stoning machine, tricycles. They are scattered throughout the state. And again, for this year, Your Excellency, the project is going to support you on sorghum. I just put this money with my TTL, and we've agreed, and we're doing on sorghum. And again, Your Excellency, one landmark that I want to state here, and I want to thank you, is the Agricultural Equipment Hiring Center at Omo. Is a cooperative-driven type of activity, the one that goes like your community project, your 20 million community project, which is a vehicle for rapid rural development. We have one already running, which you assisted to build through your counterpart from the house, and the project provided the, and again, the intention is that we'll build these tractor houses in all these natural locations. So that is what we also plead with Your Excellency, so that if it pleases His Excellency, yes, within this year, we'll be able to duplicate that tractor house in Anambra South and Anambra Central, because presently it's in Anambra North.
The focus is to enable farmers in such areas harness fully the natural endowment around them, especially water bodies. With this, there will be all year-round agriculture, while large expanse of land will be cultivated by farmers.
This site is a site that has been developed by FADAMA in collaboration with the state government, Your Excellency. It's one of the World Bank programs that you have invested so much in, paying the counterpart funding. Here we have a central pivot system, basically keying into your program and your vision for agriculture in Anambra State. This central pivot system, FADAMA, in collaboration with the state, had done about 5 sites, one here in Ogbaru, one in Omasi, one in Orumba, and Ihiala, Your Excellency. And this very one will be covering in the interim about 100 hectares. And this very environment that we are in today is a farm settlement where you have up to 5,000 hectares that we should be able to achieve here. This keys primarily into the dry season farming that you have always clamored about, Your Excellency. So with this, for our 2018-2019 target, as a matter of fact, 2017 we had about 345,000 metric tons achieved, going past our 320 metric tons consumption. Now, for 2018-2019, Your Excellency, the target that you had given us to double, we have about 513,000 metric tons to achieve. And from what we're doing now with FADAMA and the investment that you'll be bringing on board, Your Excellency, to extend the irrigation activities by bringing tube wells and boreholes around the whole state, Your Excellency, for rice production, we target to do at least 10,000 hectares of rice cultivation. But Your Excellency, amazingly, this location has taken almost half of what we want to achieve, which means that we will go over our target. For what this means, Your Excellency, is the push and the enormous help that you've been providing to Ministry of Agriculture and Agriculture in the state, Your Excellency. This has given a room for us to, at least with this very facility here, that will give us 2 cycles within 5 hectares here, we should be getting 30,000 metric tons. Now, when we combine the other sites that we have with the central pivot system, the surface irrigation system in Orumba, Your Excellency, we should be targeting about 60 to 70,000 metric tons. It's a huge achievement for irrigation, for dry season farming. And this is, technically we believe that dry season farming will have higher yield. So as we speak and peg it at 6, we will obviously get to 7 metric tons per hectare, Your Excellency.
The irrigation projects in the state are FADAMA based. The state government, through counterpart funding, has made it possible to have working sites around the state.
The FADAMA project this year is empowering about 300 youth farmers, graduate youth farmers. Okay, and the FADAMA Guys project is a novel project that the project is doing. And Anambra State happened to be one of the very few states that are leading, and that is a fallout of your support to the project. We've already completed their training, Your Excellency, and this year we're mobilizing them. We're also going to use the FADAMA project platform to supervise them, to ensure that they grow into becoming agropreneurs before we'll lead them on their own. And for this year, Your Excellency, we also, we also do cassava now. Okay, as you're coming, you will see a lot of cassava farms along here. Ogbaru started their cassava late because we produced. Yeah, here is it. Ogbaru2 from here. So for cassava, that's a major place we also play in the project. Because of the support, we came into cassava last year. We are the only state in the southeast that is doing cassava and rice. No other state. And So Your Excellency, for this irrigation project, there's also a plan, because we don't plan to do things that will not work. Okay, and there's also a plan. The contractors that did this have been engaged to remain for 1 year to do operation and maintenance, and they're also training. Currently, when they were doing the installations, the Spanish engineers that were here, presently that if still very finishing the installation there, they were here, and the farmer clusters here, our indigenous farmer clusters also participated in the installation with them, and they were teaching them the basic operation mechanism. And by the time they leave, the project is also signing another agreement with them to stay back and train them for 1 year, so that they will be able to operate and maintain this place when it's gone. And the model we want to run is that we want to integrate it from the farmers groups to the local government and even to the state, to the Ministry of Agriculture, so that there will be a seamless operation even post-project.
The facilities include central pivot system and sprinklers, all to increase the farming cycle of local farmers, especially in riverine communities.
What we are planning to do in Anambra is to sustain rice production all through the year. You know, instead of the 2-cycle farming, we'll be doing 3 because that's what you can do in a year. Rice takes 4 months, then you take 1 month to prepare it, then you grow another one. So you can only achieve 3 cycles in 12 months. You know, and that's what we're trying to do. Our efforts so far has yielded a lot of dividend. When we started in 2014, Anambra was producing 80,000 metric tons of rice all over the state. But today we are doing 345,000 metric tons. The people that live in Anambra and work in Anambra, it's estimated that they consume 320,000 metric tons. So you can see we already have surplus. But our target in 2018 is to increase that output to 600. With Koskari's farms in Anako, you know, also joining in the, because he has finished his own irrigation work. I'm going to commission it very soon. You know, with Koskari's farm, irrigating the farm all year round, and Jusan farm in Ufuma, also doing their all year round irrigation. You know, the sky is the limit in terms of our rice production. So we are actually looking at doing not less than 600,000 metric tons by the end of the year. This is a good story, and FADAMA project has been very critical in encouraging the farmers. As we speak, there are 700 farmers on this land, 700. And by the time and our greatest challenge has always been land clearing, you know. But in terms of mechanization, once you clear the land, the rest is story, you know, because your tractors and equipment can now work very easily all year round on this plot. So we have this place alone can do over 250,000 metric tons. This place alone, you know. But we've asked for federal government assistance in land clearing. You can see it's a beautiful tableland, but all you can see is where we've been able to develop, you know. So we'll develop more area so that more people will be employed here, and there will be all year round farming with the support of sprinklers like this, which this type are in 4 locations already in Anambra State, outside the commercial ones that Koskaris is doing, Joseph Farm, you know, and other people. We also have improved our milling arrangements in Anambra. We have enough millers, Stern, Koskaris, and what have you, to ensure that what we are planning to do, which is to stop the people that are paddy sellers from going to become millers at the same time, these small operators. So Central Bank of Nigeria has agreed that they will give Anambra State money to be able to buy off the paddy from the paddy producers. So what this does is that the paddy producers will be paid at a rate that will be determined by the Minister of Agriculture and his team. So that rate, the people will be paid that rate, and they'll be happy to just stay at producing paddy while the millers come and also buy off the government. With this kind of, if you will, produce arrangement, you know, we intend to expand what we are doing in food production in Anambra State.
The gesture of government to partner FADAMA in putting in place irrigation facility in Ogbaru is never and will never be a mistake. Ogbaru, as an agrarian riverine area, has been prominent in fruit production in Anambra State. The natives and settlers are chiefly farmers. Their farm produce include rice. This is the main reason why government took up the statutory responsibility to provide the enabling environment to promote the art and occupation of the Ogbaru people and their agriculture. It is believed that with continued support by government and the mechanization of agriculture, farmers will deliver better and live better.